I'm working here on a mural with the Cultural Alliance of Medfield, and is to kind of bring more art to this area and this community and to potentially make this a space where people can be creative. I've been working with murals about 15 years now. I started off doing graffiti, and when I started off doing graffiti, it was a way to express myself and to take the energy I had as a young kid and put it in a somewhat productive way. And that led me into wanting to get into more design and graphic design and logos and identity, and which led me into wanting to take my art to connect to the community going back, but learning those traditional skills as a designer through education to kind of put all that together and create a career for myself, which is what I'm doing now. I've been connected with Jean. She's been doing a lot of public art initiatives in Boston and all over. And we recently connected when she was pitching this project years ago and wanting to do more art in this area, in this space. We had conversations about, like, if this was to move forward, maybe there's a way to get you in there to do a mural. And I said, yeah, we'd love to do that.
So we are all Medfield youth leaders with the Medfield Foundation. We all applied to get here and got in. And a part of what the Medfield youth leaders do is we do a bunch of different service opportunities, mostly the Angel Run in the winter, and then a bunch of different service opportunities for the rest. And helping the community and all that. And so this is one of them. We are painting the entire wall of this building 10 white so that we can have a mural painter come in and put all of his beautiful artwork across it for all to see.
We're trying to do more spring volunteer activities, so we're painting this mural, or the white part for it.
Just because it was kind of just like a fun, interesting thing to do on your Saturday morning, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like painting's fun, and it's kind of relaxing.
Yeah.
This has been fun. Just paint.
Us too, we're an MFI, and it was kind of just like a volunteer thing that we could do. Yeah.
I emailed Mrs. Hassong, and then she came to me with this opportunity. I thought it was going to be a really cool opportunity for me to be a part of this mural. I thought it was going to be interesting to help the artist, because I think the mural that they're painting is very interesting and very important for our community.
Well, we do a lot of community service and help out with the town, and I think it's really important to be part of that.
Yeah, and it kind of just it's a sense of community, and you kind of just get to be a part of something.
I feel like if I'm walking up here with my friends or family, I can tell them I was a part of that and I helped paint and everything.
It's just been an enjoyable experience, especially I don't get to see anybody a lot lately during COVID. Especially this group, I feel hasn't met as much as it would usually do during a normal year, so it's definitely an experience, and it's very relaxing just watching it go out.
I think it's really cool to see just as we scrape the paint and the white paint of something happening here, and there's going to be a mural, so that's really cool that we sort of get to have a part in sort of making something fun for everyone to see when they come to the hospital.
Originally, I researched the space, and then also I did research about this community and worked with Jean, and Jean helped me to connect me to different resources. And we wanted to have some of those different elements kind of put into one. And I learned that music is a huge part of this community. Music between the youth and the high schools, and just music is a huge part of this community. And that was kind of a stepping stone to kind of merge these two together. So in this piece, it's a youth, the future, playing a violin. And when I think of violin, I think of melody, I think of music, I think of nature, but also connecting to what was this space is kind of like therapy. So music is like a form of therapy, just like how they use the arts as a form of therapy to connect to the clients that were on this space. And there's a landscape in the piece that is hinting at the landscapes of this area. When you walk in, there's a beautiful landscape. And there was also a famous landscape painter from this community years ago, a well-known landscape painter. So bringing in a lot of these elements, there's some of the plants from this area and animals that are in this that are kind of this community. So taking those elements and kind of creating a mural that kind of is celebrating music, youth, and the history of this community in a kind of somewhat abstract way. I predominantly use spray paint. I like spray paint because you can get a nice blend and you can get a nice effect, like a realistic looking effect. With a traditional brush, you have to mix two colors together. With spray paint, similar to video and photography, they're like little dots, like little JPEGs. The spray comes out in these little dots and they blend together really smoothly. As a brush, that's like a blotter of paint and merging those two colors together. So with spray paint, it's something that I traditionally use as when I first started doing art with spray paint. So it's a tradition. It's a kind of a tradition I'm keeping close to my art and my practice. So I love using spray paint, and that's what I'm using. There'll be some roll paint, bucket paint that is used, acrylic paint, and that's kind of my process. And I use spray paint to create these murals. Well, so it started off with a pencil sketch and an idea, and like taking all this information I'm learning about this community and about this space that we're in right now, and then putting that into some type of word and then into some type of sketch, pencil sketch, taking that, going from that pencil sketch and going into an outline and putting that outline on the wall and then starting to develop this concept and make it come to life with the spray paint. I think it's coming out how I expected. The design is mimicking the design in the way that I intended, so I'm pretty happy. A little bit more to do, hopefully trying to wrap up for today, and it feels good. People have been so nice in the community, coming by, saying hi, and you know, it's definitely better than a red brick wall. The part that I like the best is the section over here, like right where her ear is. It took a lot of time, and I also like the hand holding the violin stick, and it looks. I think that part feels good, and it just has a nice effect with all those elements and colors mixed together. These paint colors going across are supposed to mimic synesthesia, and then there's going to be lines within that, and that's also the paint drips and lines and is supposed to mimic like a music scale. So like it's kind of an abstract way of looking at music and synesthesia. Synesthesia works in a lot of different ways. Sometimes, like when you play music, some people hear colors. So people can associate colors with sound. And it also can be associated with smell. Like you could smell something that smells red. Most people can't really do that, but some people have this, part of their brain that allows them to access that. And being in an institution, a mental institution, where the brain works differently, I thought that was important to include within the mural. Like nodding at that. I want people to see the potential to art, to see potential to like a red brick building that's here into this space. Like a lot of people come here and walk their dogs and go down kayaking or fishing, but there's other potential here, with these buildings that are just sitting here. So I want people to, see the art, put them in a positive mood, and be connected to nature and art, and music. And this what this wall is supposed to represent, is to connect people to music, art, and nature. I'm happy to have this opportunity. I'm happy to meet the people from the community, and people have been very welcoming, and happy to be sharing my art with the Medfield community and working with Jean. She's been awesome to work with, and her initiative I think is amazing. And I think when I come into this space, I see these buildings, build. I'm like, that could be an art studio, that could be a music center. It's just like, there's so much potential in this space. And I'm happy to see that there's momentum to making some type of difference. People already want to come here. So what happens if you add art? What happens if you add activities? What happens if you add music? I heard that they were doing a movie night here. So I think making use of this space that is literally like dead and not occupied, and bringing it back to life, and doing tours, which I heard they do, I heard movies were filmed here. I've been learning about what's happening in this community and the things that are happening here. In this lake here, I saw like 15 deers on the way home yesterday. You know, it's a beautiful community. It's beautiful nature. And yeah, I'm happy to be here creating this art. And I hope this brings value to the community and to the youth and to the future of this space.